Hey everybody, Brian McNichols here from Touring Plans. Today I am talking about Diagon Alley. More specifically, I'm giving a tour of Diagon Alley. I'm sure you've probably heard of it, whether you're a Universal fan or not. This is the second edition of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. This is at Universal Studios Florida, the park within Universal Orlando Resort. I know the nomenclature gets weird. If you are not a Harry Potter fan, this is a Wizarding World that is tucked inside a neighborhood in London that only magical people can access. Right now I am on the London waterfront here. You can see the big triple-decker purple Knight's bus behind me. Knight's bus is what wizards call if they're in trouble. You hold your wand up, Knight's bus comes. Stan Shunpike tends to be one of the assistants. Eddie is the driver. And they have a little, in the movies, they have a little voodoo head that talks, which they have here too. Books didn't have that. Yeah, I'm a book nerd, deal with it. From London, of course, you can see, Simpsons Land and the float for the Universal Nighttime Show. That's not exactly movie accurate, but you work with what you have. So let's head inside. But before we do, I need to point out one thing out here that obviously fans of the books and movies will recognize, but not everybody does. This row of houses right here is meant to recreate a London row. The grungier one, this one right here, is number 12 Grimmauld Place. This is the ancestral home of one Sirius Black, who is an escaped convict, but really a good guy. Spoiler alerts for The Prisoner of Azkaban. In that window right there, see him? Kreacher, the elf who we think is mean, but it turns out he's actually pretty cool as long as you're cool to him, peeks out. That is a little fun thing to do. This meet and greet that they have with one of the conductors of the Knight's bus here is also a fantastic thing to do. The English accents get a little rough sometimes, but the actual back and forth is great. So here's what we've got out here. Over there is King's Cross Station. That's where you take the Hogwarts Express if you want to go over to Islands of Adventure and Hogsmeade. Leicester Square Station, but right back here, right next to Leicester Square Station, this is the entrance to Diagon Alley. How do you know? You just do, because you're not a muggle, right? Let's go in. And yeah, I'm going to be using a lot of weird, nerdy Harry Potter terms. I will try to explain them, but I'm sure there's going to be some I miss. So if you're not sure, ask in the comments. I would gladly explain all of this. So we walk through here. This is Diagon Alley. It is super packed with people at the moment, which it usually is, unless you come first thing in the morning or in the evening. Unfortunately, I've already missed morning. I won't still be here in the evening, but it is spectacular. Specifically, that awesome dragon sitting on top of Gringotts Bank. So here's what we've got here. I'm trying to find a spot where I can stand, where I am not in the way. Over here. Right behind me here is Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes. In the canon, this is the shop that Fred and George Weasley started when they went out on their own. We've got some pygmy puffs right there. Lots of tricks in the windows, demonstrating the puking pastilles. You have an interactive wand. They do sell interactive wands. They're pretty pricey, but you can go around to different windows. You point it at them, you do different spells, and the windows will do different things. You can tell there will be medallions on the ground explaining what the spell is. When I come across one, I'll show you. This is not actually one of them, but one of these is, I know. Because my kids have done this before. It is actually Celebration of Harry Potter weekend, which is one of the reasons this is busy, although it's always pretty busy. But you will also see more people than normal in robes and wands. Right back there, we've got the Leaky Cauldron. That in the books and movies, that is actually the entrance to Diagon Alley. They couldn't really do that small of an entrance or have you enter through a restaurant and inn because just crowd control reasons. This is the main street in Diagon Alley. Back there is Gringotts Wizard Bank. Let me get off of me so you can see it. At the end of the street there, that is Gringotts Bank, run by goblins. What is being depicted there is from I believe the 6th movie, the 7th book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, where they break into Gringotts Bank, and to get out they end up freeing that particular dragon who is being chained underneath as a way to protect the oldest of the vaults. The dragon here will periodically shoot flames out of his mouth, which is kind of what I'm waiting for, as are lots of people. But you know what? The flames go on for a little while, so why don't we keep walking and we'll see. We've got on my right here, this is the Daily Prophet. Or no, this is Flourish and Blots. This is the bookstore. They still have Gilderoy Lockhart, Professor Lockhart from the Chamber of Secrets. They still have his book, even though he has been proven to be a fraud. He was only good at memory charms. I told you, lots of Harry Potter nerdery, sorry. We got Madame Malkin's robe shop over there. We just passed the Daily Prophet offices, which is the newspaper for the Wizarding World. This is Ollivander's, makers of fine wands. You can go in here and watch the show, which we will do in a minute. Oh, I decided to go into Ollivander's. They said they run it every 7 minutes. There's no real wait other than that.
No two Ollivander wands are the same. I want you to ring that for us only once. Keep it away. Not exactly what we were hoping for. Oh. After all, they share the same core.
Okay, so I just went through Ollivander's in about 5 minutes. Even with all these people aren't really going in there. It's not super well advertised, like the entrance to Diagon Alley itself. But so if you want to see the Ollivander show, definitely come here instead of Hogsmeade. Over there, it tends to get a wait. What do we got? There's so much stuff. If you're a fan of books and movies, we're coming up here. This is Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor. This is a working ice cream parlor. You can totally get ice cream here. It is awesome. Over here next to Gringotts now I'm right by Gringotts right there. But we've got the Spike and Sidecar. I think that is the one that Hagrid rode in the movie, and with Harry in the sidecar with Hedwig, R.I.P. Hedwig. Over here is the Fountain of Fair Fortune, which is a bar. But you know what? Oh, and here, this is what I was telling you about with the interactive ones. So these people here are doing it on this umbrella. When they do it correctly, the umbrella rings. Well, they're not doing it right. Right behind her foot, right there is a medallion that has a little wand maneuver on it. You're supposed to go up and then down and around, and that causes it to rain. This is a cast member right here helping her out, which they will do. Some of the moves are tricky. Some of them we had to really help the kids. Oh, she got this one, look. There. Now it's raining, sort of. And that they have those all over both Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, and I will tell you from personal experience, kids love them. My kids wanted to spend so much more time in Harry Potter because of the interactive wands, which of course I was happy to oblige. All you have to do is look down on the ground and you will see all the little medallions that have the wand moves on them. This is the magical menagerie where you can get your animals. And wait, is that a Crumplehorn Snorstamp? It might be. You better tell the Lovegoods about that one. But they have all sorts of animal-related things. You can buy a Fox the Phoenix stuffed animal here. Of course, Hedwig. It's very cool to come and look around. And actually, one of the cooler things here is to look in the windows outside. Now, this is another interactive one spot. But they have a giant toad and a bird of some sort. Not sure if that's a phoenix or not. Lots of really funky looking animals in cages. Some sort of giant snail that seems to move. That one's a little gross, I don't know. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into my favorite part of Diagon Alley. This is Nocturne Alley. This is where you find slightly darker things than maybe you were looking for. It is dark. It is perpetually night in here. So it makes it real hard for photographs and video probably. You'll see wanted posters for Bellatrix Lestrange right there. Don't worry, Molly Weasley took care of her. They do have interactive wand elements down here. I'm trying not to step on anybody. It's pretty darn dark down here. But this is Borgin and Burke's. This is a dark shop. The young Tom Riddle actually worked here at one point, which you know, of course. That was all revealed in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which might be my favorite book, by the way. I'll tell you what we'll do while we're here. Fellow Harry Potter nerds, in the comments below here, tell me what your favorite Harry Potter book is. I'm curious to know, because I go back and forth. The fourth one, Goblet of Fire, was my favorite one for a long time. I really like the Half-Blood Prince, and I've started to very much enjoy Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the last one. So I'm in Borgin and Burke's now. Another wanted poster for Bellatrix Lestrange. That one is Trouble. We have some cursed items, including this necklace that is cursed, some dagger, the hand that brings light only to the holder. We know that was used for nefarious purposes. Lucius Malfoy's Death Eater mask, and Bellatrix's, never something you want to save. The shop does have some of the coolest stuff. Diary, Tom Marvolo Riddle. I wouldn't recommend writing in that or telling it your deepest secrets. Anyone who's seen or read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets will know why. Not sure what's behind this door, but it's trying very hard to get out. One more quick thing I gotta show you before we get out of here. This over here is the movie depiction of the Vanishing Cabinet. This has appeared a few times in Harry Potter literature. Most importantly, in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This, you can hear, if you listen closely, you can hear the bird chirping inside. The bird is what Draco Malfoy used to test whether the Vanishing Cabinet worked so he could get Death Eaters into Hogwarts Castle to eventually do something very terrible, which is a huge spoiler. If you haven't actually gotten to Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince yet, I will not spoil that one for you. All sorts of stuff down here. If you can see, this is a very cool place to explore. We've got undertakers and embalmers down here. It's just, I think it looks so good in here with the perpetual nighttime. I'm gonna go out this entrance, which takes us back down right next to Leaky Cauldron, right across Flourish and Blotts here. And we'll go out this side, because there's another street we haven't explored yet. It's not a very big area here, to be honest, but it is very, very packed with everything. I like that it is Celebration of Harry Potter weekend because very few people are looking at me like I'm an insane person for doing this, even though it's super crowded, because most of them are videotaping too. This is quality Quidditch supplies, as you would guess. They have Quidditch robes like that. You can buy chess sets. They do not fight on their own, unfortunately. You can actually get broomsticks here. Quidditch gear, it's all very pricey, I will warn you. For instance, this Gryffindor button-down shirt is $53, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. This lovely Gryffindor sweater is $109.95. So when I say very expensive, I mean very expensive. You can get a broom. They have Nimbus 2000s and Firebolts, I believe. These are the cheaper version. They're the kind of plastic light up broom, $35. That's actually not terrible, although I never know what I would do with a broomstick, so I've never actually gotten one. I have very few Harry Potter souvenirs. I have one or two t-shirts, and that's about it. Now we'll head up into Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes, which is connected to Quality Quidditch Supplies. Some of the shops here, not as tight as Hogsmeade, but still pretty darn tough to navigate. So this up here This is Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes. I don't even know if I'm going to try to walk through it. They have lots and lots of stuff. You can't actually go upstairs. Trust me, I've tried. They have some of the candies, the nosebleed nougat, the puking pastilles. They won't actually give you nosebleeds or make you puke, obviously, because that seems like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Decoy detonators, which are used very nicely in Deathly Hallows. Again, they don't actually, obviously they're not magical items, so what are you gonna do? But it is fun to have extendable ears they have here. All the stuff that you've seen in the movies. Skiving Snack Boxes, that was the name I was trying to figure out. The one that contains the nosebleed nougats and all that stuff. All right, so now we're in the last of the streets. Back there we have wands by Grigorovich. You can buy wands there. No show or anything, because we all know Grigorovich is second to Ollivander when it comes to that. Another interactive wand spot here. This one with a mermaid as depicted by Harry Potter, where water comes out of a little frog right there. Again, you can see the medallion right there that she's stepping on the ground. That signifies that it is an interactive wand spot. The hopping pot here, another place where alcohol is served. We've got a house elf placement agency. Would think Hermione would have shut those down by now. They do have some awesome shows. Celestina Warbeck sings right here on this little stage. She is not singing right now, obviously. Dr. Filibusters, who is the maker of Wizard Fireworks right there. Gringotts Money Exchange. Oh, this is a pretty good one. You can actually go in here and talk to the goblin. In fact, let's go do that. You can get, I believe, Gringotts banknotes, but I don't really want any of those. This is one of the other animatronic goblins. You will also see these in the queue for Harry Potter and the Escape.
You may take photographs with or without flash, as well as video recordings if you must.
Well, thank you very much.
Is this too advanced for you? There is always one among you that needs him or herself to be the center of all there is.
What's your favorite color?
That's me.
For your own safety,
All right.
do not sit upon any part of the queue line.
All right, I gotta get out of here.
Limiting customers.
They don't love that I just stood in the queue and videotaped, because you're supposed to go in there and buy goblin money, which is, if anybody remembers Disney dollars, it's not that much of it. You can use it here and pretty much nowhere else. But we are in this part of the street is actually very nicely covered. If it happens to start raining, this is a good place to go. Wiseacre's Wizarding Equipment, another shop. And Scribulus is back there, writing supplies. And now we're back to Gringotts Bank. This, of course, is where Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, the attraction, in my opinion, the best attraction at Universal Orlando. This is my favorite of all the attractions here. I really like the combination of roller coaster and the simulator that they do. Only a 30-minute wait. I might have to ride this. The only thing that always annoys me at Universal is that I always have to put my bag in a locker. It just takes extra time, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest, but I understand why they do it. So I think I'm going to end my tour there. Thank you very much for watching, and expecto Patronum.